The holiday break is soon approaching, but first, we have two high-caliber teams ready to give us the gift of some high-caliber basketball. We come to you from Maple Grove for this edition of high school girls basketball. The 5-2 Maple Grove Crimson hosts the undefeated St. Michael-Albertville Knights at 5-0. This matchup could determine seeding should these two make it to state come March. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by LaToya Turk. LaToya, this is one of those matchups that needs little build-up, but if you're wondering why this is such a big deal, we've got two AAU teammates playing each other one more time in Tessa Johnson and Klick. Both are coming off milestone markers. Tessa Johnson dropping 51 against Chaska on Friday. Klick crossed the 1,000 mark in her career in Maple Grove's win over Elk River. You hear this a lot. How do players follow up such big milestones? Both sides are going to have to answer that question tonight.
Yeah, I think both of their names carry weight on their own, and so there's no follow-up needed. It's Tessa Johnson and Klick. And so we've had the opportunity to watch both girls, both young ladies play for the last 4 years for sure. I know Kennedy's been on our radar since 7th grade, and the fact that they've had the opportunity to play together for several years in the off-season, we're going to see a good matchup tonight.
Klick, of course, headed to Minnesota next year, and Tessa Johnson going to South Carolina. I know it was a big deal when Paige Beckers years ago committed to UConn. Not as much fanfare yet with Tessa Johnson going to South Carolina, but that speaks volumes to her playing ability.
Absolutely. I am a true diehard fan of Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks, and so she's going to be a phenomenal addition to that program. And Dawn Staley only recruits the best, and so having the opportunity to watch Tessa over the past 4 years has been an honor to be able to especially be here tonight and watch her play against Kennedy.
Of course, Kennedy and Tessa don't do it by themselves. On St. Michael-Albertville's side, you have Ava House, who is having a solid season, and Jacayla Kraft, who has undergone a sensational evolution between your AAU and high school season. For Maple Grove, you have a rising star in Jordan Ode. Jordan leads the team in scoring. She's getting a lot of buzz as a sophomore. So even though we might be here for the big North Tartan matchup, there are quite a few other pieces that make this matchup enticing.
That's what makes both of these players great players, because iron sharpens iron. And so the young ladies who are playing with them continue to develop and grow right in real time, as we're seeing. So one person can't carry the whole load, and so I'm glad to hear that they have additional arsenal here with them tonight.
A lot of players can carry the load. We'll find out which side can carry their team to the top when we return. You're watching high school girls basketball. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to Maple Grove, not to be confused with Angel Grove. Power Rangers fans will get that reference. LaToya, Maple Grove historically, they take the gauntlet of Lake Conference teams. They've already played two in Wayzata and Hopkins. They will get Eden Prairie. Thursday's game, though, being rescheduled, but they get Eden Prairie and Minnetonka later this season. So the Crimson will have played all of the heavy hitters in the lake by the time this season is done.
Yeah, and their two losses were early in the season, and they were to those two heavy hitters. I think for both teams, this is really where they're starting to get into some real competition. If you look at some of the scores from the other teams that they've played, they've been runoffs, and so this is where they get to match up more equally tonight.
And St. Michael-Albertville, how about this? 94 points against Osseo on Monday, 97 in the win over Chaska. That included Tessa Johnson's 51. 9 3-pointers, both school records.
Yeah, and St. Michael-Albertville, when you look at the box scores, they are putting up about 20 more points a night than Maple Grove, and they're taking more threes and more accurate, and so it will speed up the tempo for Maple Grove tonight.
Well, LaToya, you and I have seen St. Michael-Albertville a few times over the years. No lack of perimeter shooters. Jacayla Kraft, a well-known three-point shooter. Tessa Johnson can knock them down. And I wouldn't be surprised if a few others have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, they're shooting 59% from the three-point line so far this season, which is amazing for a high school girls team. So, when you have the opportunity to play with each other over longevity, like these bigger schools with the feeder programs, that's what you get. You get good shooters, good rebounders, good offensive and defensive players.
Let's recap the starters now that they've been introduced. For St. Michael-Albertville, it's Tessa Johnson, the South Carolina commit. Piper Carlson, who's headed to Idaho State. Ava House, Mackenzie Berg, and Jacayla Kraft. Maple Grove will start Audrey Kormann. She's headed to NJIT. Claire Stern, Kate Holmquist, Kennedy Klick, the future Gopher, and Jordan Ode. And for Maple Grove, their 2 losses to Lake teams. In the game against Hopkins, nobody shot the ball well. Kennedy Klick was 2 of 18. Jordan Ode couldn't get her groove either. And you know this, LaToya, no matter how good you are, if you don't shoot well, you can run into trouble.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to see what happens tonight. I've always known Kennedy to be one of the best offensive transition players in the state from a very young age. Watching her, she runs the floor very well. But, you know, her defense also runs the floor well tonight. So we're going to see if she's able to step back and take a couple of shots and get those shots up tonight.
Kennedy, when she gets going, she is tough to stop. I've said this before. She is usually played on teams where she doesn't always have to be the hero. And in Class 4A basketball, you can't do it all by yourself. But leadership, I'd like to see how she handles that role. Right now, St. Michael-Albertville wins the tip, and we're underway. There's someone who made big strides, Jacayla Kraft, known as a three-point shooter, but during her AAU season with the Metro Stars, really diversified her game. And we're going to start things off with a high-low for Tessa Johnson.
And you see right away, STMA is going to a full-court man.
Maple Grove, 3 no good. That came from Holmquist. Knights looking to run it. Kraft, yep, traveling. It's one of those motions where you know it as soon as you see it.
Hey, but listen, the feel for a transition was there, so we'll see what happens next time when she pushes the ball up the floor.
Well, and that's where Kraft has really improved her game over the summer, heading into the start of the high school season, her ability to attack. That's going to be a foul, and they will give Kennedy Klick the shooting motion.
You know, that might be a bonus for her tonight if Tessa is guarding her. If she continues to, beat her off that first step or back door and get Tessa in foul trouble.
Kennedy Klick, the southpaw, also knows how to knit. Well, Kennedy Klick, how about this? Drew a foul and got a 5-second call on Tessa Johnson.
Yeah, she's playing very, very strategic defense against Tessa tonight. The first play of the game, Tessa posted her up, and they went for the lob. And Kennedy just stayed cool. She knew she had help side defense there. And then you could see even during that first play, that transition, Tessa went to 2 or 3 options, and Kennedy didn't bite.
Here's Jordan Ode, bounce pass to Klick. The reverse, not quite.
And that's one of the bonuses of when you play against someone that you know, they'll overplay you, and that's exactly what she did. She went back door on her.
Tessa and Kennedy have a long friendship. Whoa! Mackenzie Berg with a little English on that reverse there. And the Knights lead 4-2. Jordan Ode. She and Addie Mack were quite the tandem on the Fury 2025 team. Kennedy Klick pulls up. That rims out.
And
Johnson.
Kennedy's getting good shots, getting to the basket. Just can't finish there.
Johnson with the laser to Piper Carlson, and Piper will shoot 2.
And you can see with STMA, their first option is to score on the transition offense on that quick bucket. So Maple Grove's going to have to get back quicker on defense.
Piper Carlson, here's a fun fact. When she's not playing basketball, she will thrift and resell clothes.
Wow, okay. All right.
Splits at the line. STMA with an early 5-2 lead. Klick tried the lob to Kormann. Knights looking to floor it. Piper Carlson took an extra step there.
And again, they were going for the transition bucket, not even setting up a play or trying to score right away.
Well, the Knights, as we have seen this season, they're not afraid to push the pedal. And again, Tessa and Kennedy, longtime friends owing to their AAU connections. It's not uncommon to see TikTok videos of the two. Kraft with the steal on Kormann, or Stern, I should say. And she'll go to the line for two.
She did a great job of going up with her left hand there and using her body to show that contact.
Personal foul is on Maple Grove's Claire Stern, number 14. That's her first. Second team foul on the Crimson. And at the line,
Jacayla Kraft came over to STMA from Farmington. She considers herself one of the most outgoing personalities. She says, I could go in any room and make friends and conversations with anyone. My number one goal is to make sure everyone feels welcome and comfortable.
It sounds like a future DEI representative.
A future what?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh, DEI.
Yeah. What did I say? Did I say?
No, you said DEI.
Oh, okay.
I just wasn't sure what you were talking about.
Because I've been doing home remodeling. I didn't know if I said.
Ava House with the steal. Mid-range J is long, but Carlson tracks it down. Johnson, the long skip to House. Ava putting up some solid numbers this season.
Exactly what happens when the defense falls asleep on you.
House averaging 13.2.
Now you can see St. Michael-Albertville with actually a hard full court press there.
And Tessa Johnson to the line. Tessa Johnson, most of you basketball fans know this story. Headed to South Carolina, of course. But
say that part again, Mike.
Headed to South Carolina. Only the number one team in the nation, I was going to say. Came back from a broken femur 2 years ago, had to miss the entire 2021 season. Came back in AAU, looked real sharp, and had a wonderful junior season. She is the preseason favorite for Miss Basketball this year.
Absolutely. I call her the Tessa Johnson.
You've made it clear more than once how big a fan of Tessa Johnson
Yes.
you are. And you're probably not alone. How about that set by Maple Grove? Stern with a quick dish to Kormann for two. And it's 10-6. Kraft.
Buckets.
On the line, but still good for two. Okay, the score's corrected. It's 12-4, which is what I had on my score sheet. But it's early.
Oh, she fought through there.
And that fight almost paid off.
Yeah, Maple Grove was getting some of those nips there.
Tessa Johnson, oh, look at that stutter step. We're seeing quite a few missed bunnies in the early going. How about a three? That's short. Ode didn't see House from behind. Kraft with numbers. Tessa Johnson had Kormann in her face.
Great communication
no
there. Great communication there. Again, transition offense.
Ode gets it across the timeline. The skip to Klick. Three ball. No good. And a foul on Maple Grove. 14-4, Knights in front. If you're wondering, I talked to Tessa for a little bit before this game. She and Kennedy Didn't say a whole lot. They both were locked in, so not a lot of smack talk. She said afterward you might get a little of that friendly trash talk.
Yeah, when you watch the pregame or the announcements, you'll see them exchange some jovial hugs at the beginning there.
And Kennedy, very much appreciative of all the connections she has built as Jacayla Kraft's three goes off the heel. I covered Maple Grove Rogers last year, and she did the same thing with Clara Glad, another AAU teammate of hers at North Tartan. Jordan Ode speeds her way to the bucket.
Yeah, we saw Jordan pregame or during warm-ups working on her handles there. And so I think if she's able to get to the basket and draw those fouls, it'll be a big help for her team tonight.
Jordan Ode has already formed her own training business. She and the Hanna sisters work as a trio, and Jordan's father told me all three of them just got their licenses, so now they can go to Lifetime or anywhere else and conduct training sessions.
Nice, it's nice. My daughter asked me just to stop saying her name, so I won't. She's training at Lifetime as well.
Tessa Johnson is training her way to get inside. Well, I guess she already has.
You know, Tessa's you can tell her physicalness when she's actually just leaning on Klick a little bit. She's much stronger.
Touch three. Bullseye. Lexi Hanna.
Right away looking up the floor. Go to
Fade
work.
away, no good. Ode comes up with it. Chance for the Crimson to pick up some momentum here.
Way to be patient. One thing I remember from this Maple Grove team is their discipline on running their offense. They tend not to rush it.
Klick for three. That stayed in play. But Hanna was in a tough spot.
And again, you can see they're looking up the floor for the transition offense. There you go.
Johnson with the dime. Kale Jenke with the floater. Or I should say the step back floater.
Yeah, one thing about it is that you can't decide to start playing defense once you've gotten all the way into the lane. Especially with STMA, you need to find your girl at half court and pick her up.
Ode with the misdirection. She'll shoot two. Now, LaToya, am I allowed to say your daughter's name? You can't say it. Maybe I can.
Yep, I say yes.
I say, because I'm trying to get you some clients here. It starts with a D. Oh, you probably know who it is. But that's cool that your daughter, Demaya.
Yes.
I will accept any responsibility is taking it up herself. Oh, your daughter is going to have some words with me.
Yes.
Jordan Ode also enjoys running when she's not hosting training sessions or playing basketball.
Geez, I played basketball for a long time. I don't think I ever enjoyed running. It was a necessary evil.
Here's Tessa Johnson.
That's a rarity. Yeah, that's a rarity that we see that.
I suppose for Ode and others, running might seem weird when you spend an entire game doing it, but when you're running recreationally, you don't have to worry about double teams or swing sets, horns, any of that. You just go out there and run some more.
Yeah,
Here's
I guess
Ode.
at that age, that's all you got to worry about.
Ode has a strong command of that first step. I've seen her create space just like that to knock down the step back J.
That's her sweet spot. You know, we saw Paige do that for year after year, game after game. Just have that sweet spot. Get that first step on your defender and get to your spot and knock down.
Johnson through the hole and in.
It's like light work.
Tessa up to 10 points. 51 might be asking a little much, but she's off to a good start. Ode off the screen.
Tessa's one of those players where you're like, I just need to contain her.
How about that move?
And, Maple Grove, they're shooting almost 60% from the three-point line, so it's a quick and easy way to get back in this game, 16-20 now.
That was Abby Steiner who knocked down the left wing tray, set up by Ode. On the other end, Maggie Lindemann scores for the Knights. I think both teams are settled in now. Jordan Ode once again.
So both teams have some defensive things that they need to tighten up on. We're seeing the same plays transition for STMA, and then Jordan Ode's just getting to the basket at will on STMA.
Mark Cook did mention that Jordan Ode is a slasher who has unbelievable body control and can finish well at the rim. We've seen that twice already.
You got to kind of learn that as a smaller guard too, because if you're constantly going into the lane and you're uncontrolled, you won't get those calls because they'll say it was a uncontrolled shot or attempt. And so you really have to make sure that you're strong enough to take the hits if you're going to go into the lane and have body control.
Timeout, 22-19 the score. I didn't see who called it, but defense need not apply, at least in these first few minutes. The big names are stepping up. And for Maple Grove, they overcame a slow start. How many times, LaToya, have we said this in basketball? Sometimes it's all about weathering that first bout of adversity.
Yeah, with these two teams, that early lead, you can't bank on that, especially when you have the amount of scores that are present on this Maple Grove team.
Well, both Johnson and Ode have 4 20-point games in the early part of the season. We talk a lot about Tessa's 51-point outing against Chaska. Jordan Ode dropped 30 against Wayzata to open the season.
Wow, okay. I see you, Jordan.
You'll be seeing her plenty more times in these next couple of years at Maple Grove. But I just can't get over that dynamic duo, herself and Addie Mack on the Fury team in AAU. How about that backcourt? Traveling call. Maple Grove, they're settling in here.
I think we could probably put together some highlights on some dynamic duos that have sprung up around the state here in the past year or so. You see STMAs, they've gone to a zone here.
Maple Grove broke through it, and shooting free throws will be Lexi Hanna. One of the 3 that make up the OHH basketball training business. Those are the initials for Jordan Ode and the Hanna sisters. Lexi and Addie, if you're wondering.
It's always nice when you see the trainer. Look at her shooting form here on the line. Perfect. So it's good to know that she's training other young athletes.
Right. You won't make them all. She's split there. I don't think anyone has ever hit 100%, except maybe you at the line. You were, or if not 100, you were close, right?
I did shoot mid 80%.
Okay, so you were up there. That's a good mark.
But I come from a different era.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't get more publicity for that.
We didn't have the media content that happens now.
Well, my apologies for being too young to do so. But Tessa Johnson, unapologetic about her acumen, banks in another short-range bucket off the glass.
So we see that Tessa's dominating on the inside there and her handles. I'd like to see her take her hand at a few more outside shots here.
She did have 9 3-pointers. We've got free throws coming for Claire Stern.
So I should be careful what I ask for the sake of the Maple Grove team.
Well, I'll leave that up to you. While you do that, Claire Stern, her first basketball team she played on, it was a co-ed team in Shanghai, China.
Wow, that sounds like fun. That sounds like quite the experience.
That would have put her at Shanghai. Well, the Olympics were in Beijing, but I'm doing the math. It would have been pretty close to the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Claire Stern, the junior, so, okay, maybe a little young for that. but she knocks down both free throws. And I almost called you Tessa, LaToya.
I'll take it.
Maple Grove, 8 of 10 from the free throw line.
I'm giving you Tessa vibes. That was a great pick underneath there.
Well, Tessa will get her own vibes as she goes to the line for 3.
Is that a little additional acting on the floor there? Did you see that?
Dante seems to concur, and he's seen his share of games. One of his nieces plays for Hopkins.
Okay. I hope Abe was able to catch that. I think she did do a little extra acting there.
Tessa Johnson to the line. Now, LaToya, you and I talked about the comeback Tessa went through. I remember her telling me how she teared up the first time she was able to put on an STMA uniform. You used to work in the medical field. A broken femur, the biggest bone in the body,
yes.
That is an intense recovery process.
Absolutely. And I just say, coming from the medical field, hats off to her surgical team to be able to, this should go up on their wall of fame to have a player that you put back together, a broken femur, and she's on the court playing at this level in 2 years, and will be playing next year for the #1 collegiate team in the country. Like, that's amazing.
There was an over-the-back foul on St. Michael-Albertville. Tessa Johnson went 2 of 3 from the line. And both teams with 6 fouls. So they're out of fouls to give, but no one in the bonus yet.
And, for this game to be so close and, the indication that for seeding later in the season, it's very relaxed in the gym. Very relaxed atmosphere with the fans, the coaches, and the players.
So there was a correction in the foul tally. STMA in the penalty. Maple Grove still has 1 to give. So Claire Stern goes to the line, and she'll try to match Tessa Johnson. And the Crimson now 10 of 12. And why do I keep bringing up free throw numbers? LaToya and I have had many conversations about this. You never know when they'll matter.
Yeah. And so I want to just call attention, especially to some of the younger girls who were watching the game. There was a substitution that was made. Immediately, Tessa realized that substitution and called for a different offensive set.
That's the second time Kraft.
Work, but
no, that not how they intended. But Kraft, that's a couple of times now where
just missed on
she's
that
right, missed on
connection.
a passing route. Of course, it happens to the best of us.
Passing route? I think that's football. I've heard that in football conversations.
You probably have heard it more in football, but in basketball too. When you think about sets, all the routes you had to go through. It's not like they don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I probably would get lost. But Tequila Kraft gets the steal and the coast-to-coast play. And that's why I'm not too worried if Kraft or the others make a mistake. They have the wherewithal to get right back to it.
Absolutely.
(28-24). We're seeing quite the shootout.
And again, you see Maple Grove being very patient in their offense.
No shot clock, not this year, so you can be as patient as you wish. But STMA, they're always looking for that up-tempo play. However, the lead pass was disrupted.
And that was one thing that we saw Kennedy at when she played at De La Salle and at Roseville, was getting in those passing lanes and creating havoc and then scoring off a transition, which is what we just saw here. But also we got to be careful because here's STMA right back, transition offense, one pass, and we're putting up a shot.
That was Kennedy Klick's first field goal. Maple Grove now out of fouls to give. Side out here for the Knights.
So foul is on Maple Grove's line. 24, that's her first. 16 foul. Substitution is Diaz for the Knights. For Maple Grove, it's Asha Dawson.
Couple of substitutions here. Both schools flexing their bench. Here's Johnson. Gets around Klick. Baseline J short. Klick with a transition chance. Didn't have the numbers, but she finds Stern for 3. Dawson Rebounded and surrounded by a bunch of white. That's going to leave Ode wide open. Dawson again. Stern now looking for Ode, but Tessa Johnson a little too quick there.
And there she is looking for that transition run. Man, that's a great combination there. She's looking for every single time. That's how you reward your big for running the floor.
Johnson does have a few dimes this season. She adds another one to Carlson on the fast break. 3-point game. Stern. Ode. Pump fakes. When Johnson's on you, you have to be a little more crafty, don't you?
She does a great job of getting her teammates involved, and she's like, run the floor. It takes a little bit of the pressure off of her, too.
Klick. The skip to Stern. Into a wall. That's a charge.
And Carlson's putting in work right now. She's getting back offensively. She's getting in position. She's gotten to the line. She's just taking that charge.
As you know, team control foul does not award free throws, but STMA gets the stop. 5:38 to go, 30-27, Knights over Crimson. Johnson got bumped by Ode. She'll go to the line.
Hey, that was going to be a bad situation if either one of them got open. Tessa was coming across the baseline. And then their guard was coming up at the top of the key, so.
Ode picks up her second. Tessa Johnson, born with an extra finger.
Fun facts.
That probably explains her strong grip of the ball. No, it doesn't. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, Tessa put in the work to become such an astute player. And she's up to 16 points. Ode, pull up three, no good. Dawson, that's her third offensive rebound, but she dragged her feet there.
Yeah, she came right in, being a rebounding force was just one thing that they needed, especially with Carlson in the game.
And actually, I should point out, yes, I was having a little fun with Tessa there, but when you look at her resume, again, she missed the AAU Summer Jam tournament because she was participating in a community service project, and in the past, she has worked at youth camps. She has a lot of community service on that resume of hers.
Yeah.
And we're going to have more free throws here.
Very, very well-rounded young lady.
And so it's not just the sentimental factor of coming back from a broken femur or all of the insane numbers she can put up in games. She truly is a shining example of what a young leader is all about. And that's probably why she was tabbed as the favorite for Miss Basketball in the breakdown. And of course, she got the honors to be on their cover page for this year's breakdown guidebook.
Great look.
So Johnson up to 18. Ode for three again. Knights up by 7. Kylie
there
Diaz
they go.
with the
She's
rebound.
looking again. Oh.
Kraft sees a lane, attacks. Kylie Diaz is there, but I think got a little out of position as she threw it up.
I'm not sure how 3 people came over on help side and she didn't get a foul.
Kennedy Klick. Elbow J off the heel. Here's Kraft. Carlson the kick out. Diaz for 3. Okay, I see you.
And you can see it happening as the play is transpiring, that the overload that they do and just swing it to the weak side.
I forget, post players can shoot threes now. We saw Hope Counts do that a few weeks ago.
Better believe it.
Walk on Kennedy Klick. I think you told me as well you weren't a bad three-point shooter yourself back in the day. Didn't shoot a lot of them the way post players do now, but you could knock them down.
Yeah, in college I played a 4 or 5 position when the other team was in a zone, and my post player was also the South Carolina Miss Basketball and Volleyball Player of the Year, so she had tremendous jumping abilities and timing for the ball, so I could shoot all day, she'd go get it.
I wonder if there's video somewhere.
I'm sure.
You played at Kent State?
Yeah, Kentucky State.
Kentucky State. Yeah.
Yep.
If there's any connections down there, yeah, feel free to send me some video.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find highlights of LaToya's heyday.
There they go, swinging it again.
Well, this time, Maple Grove not going to be fooled. Diaz finds a cutting Johnson. That's what three-point shooting can do, though. You saw Maple Grove go to Diaz right away, and that opened up a lane for Johnson. Tessa's got 20.
STMA is just a little quicker at recognizing when there's a defensive imbalance than what Maple Grove is. In transition, there's been a couple times when they've had opportunities. They're just a little slower with that pass.
Knights up by 12. It was a one-point game not that long ago.
Great help there by Carlson.
Klick looks short. Look out. Traveling call, but more importantly, everyone's all right. I always tense up a bit when I see players falling on top of each other.
That's because if it were you or I, we'd still be down there.
You probably could get back up. Me, I would be flattened.
Optical illusion. You'd be calling the trainer out.
Well, there's no illusion about Jacayla Kraft's slashing ability. She goes coast to coast again.
At will.
Knights are up 14 now, 41-27. Claire Stern on the take. That's her first field goal. Johnson, her speed, her control on the acceleration is just incredible.
My heart just thumps a little bit because I just don't want her to put the brakes on someone tonight. Especially not one of my favorite players.
Stern feeding Kormann. Finds
Nice
a cutting
cut.
Klick. Got it.
Nice cut.
I wonder if she picked up that move from Tessa from their time together on North Tartan. Or maybe it was the other way
She's
around.
going to show her a few more now.
Oh, I think Tessa, yeah. Oh, I'm sure these two are loving it. Once this game is done, I think they're going to be sharing a few texts with each other. Tessa through traffic.
No call.
I didn't see a lot of contact there. Tessa Johnson collects the rebound, just over a minute left, 41-31. Long skip to Kraft, touch three from the corner, long.
The one thing that Tessa's teammates know is that if they're open on that transition, she's going to get them the ball. She's constantly looking for them. And they're not afraid to call for it, so it's a learned behavior.
Time winding down in the first half. St. Michael-Albertville with a little more touch on their shooting.
I thought maybe he was going to call 3 seconds at first.
Instead, it's going to be free throws for Maple Grove. Audrey Kormann, again going to New Jersey Institute of Technology. She's also the president of the Maple Grove Environmental Club.
Okay.
Kormann averaging 11.6 a game. And this is where Maple Grove has excelled. Well, they get a split there, but both teams shooting well from the free throw line. 30 seconds. Kraft drew the blocking foul before the shot, so she'll go to the line for two.
We knew eventually that she'd get a call.
And this is where I feel, again, she has taken a big step forward. Last year, she was mostly a spot-up three-point shooter. But I think she picked up a huge boost of confidence. Her AAU season included a victory over All Iowa Attack, the team that had KK Arnold, the future UConn commit, on it. and Jakayla Kraft's slashing had a lot to do with it.
Nice, nice. And you just have to add skills to your tool bag, to your grab bag, right?
Kraft splits at the line. Both teams 11 of 14. 3 ball. In and out, Tessa Johnson. I think we'll slow things down here to hold for the final shot.
Yeah, she's looking for her.
Looking at the clock. And that's exactly what St. Michael-Albertville will do. Johnson. No good. Ooh, close. And that's the end of the first half, 42-32. LaToya, St. Michael-Albertville finding their touch a little more from the floor, but Maple Grove not out of this. If they can get a couple more shots to go in, we could have ourselves a photo finish for the second half.
Yeah, not at all. There's only a 10-point difference in this game. Go to the locker room, talk about some strategies, and come out and make those adjustments that need to be made. Yeah, this game is very much so still in reach.
Certainly within reach. We've had a lot of fun in this first half. We'll keep the action going when we return. You're watching high school girls basketball. St. Michael-Albertville leads Maple Grove 42-32.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and LaToya Turk with you. St. Michael-Albertville leads Maple Grove 42-32 as we get ready to start the second half. LaToya, Tessa Johnson already has 20 points to lead everyone. Jakayla Kraft has 8 for the night. On the Maple Grove side, Jordan Ode has 9, Kennedy Klick 7, Claire Stern 6. But LaToya, 20 points and a half the night or the first game after you get 51. We often look at these types of games as barometers. How do you follow up a huge performance? Tessa was joking that the 51 was a one-night only deal. I don't know if she'll get 20 this half, but I think she's capable of putting up big numbers every night.
Hey, she can. Who gonna stop her?
You might. Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Maybe in your playing days in your prime you could have.
I could maybe create a player to stop her.
I bet you Demaya could stop her. I bet you Demaya could stop her.
We're not doing that.
Demaya could stop her, right?
Tessa holds her own. She is a superstar.
We'll see what happens in the second half, but Tessa Johnson, 4 20-point games.
She has a great supporting cast, a great supporting cast.
And remember, the Knights with Tessa and Jakayla Kraft and the others won silver at the Class 4A state championship last year. Lost to Hopkins. Those two, their first meeting January 27th. Jakayla Kraft, that drive did everything but go in.
It was great execution on that play set, too. The lane was wide open for her.
And Kraft called for the reach-in on Kormann.
Yeah, definitely playing that post player, and as you seal that deep, you can't reach in. At that point, you just got to go straight up.
Well, if you're curious on the Battle of North Tartan teammates, Kennedy Klick has 7, Tessa Johnson with 20, so Tessa winning that battle. But for Kennedy, if she gets a couple of those shots to go in, that could change the flow of this game. Used her length to get the steal, and we've got a little hot potato going on.
Yeah. So this is where we'll see Maple Grove try to create some switches.
Jordan Ode with the step back, Jay. Once again, that's the second time she has dropped a step back jumper.
That's her sweet spot. That's one of the shots we saw her working on during warm-ups.
Her knack for creating space continues to amaze me. And Maple Grove, they've put out a lot of solid athletes over the years. And Kraft again.
Yeah, she's that little butterfingers
She's having some
tonight.
right. That's the third pass she has bobbled. I should say second. One of them was too high for her to catch. But she's having a little bit of trouble
Yeah, you got to
fielding
get
those passes.
Got to get it here because well, she has a couple more years, but going to the next level, the guards pass the ball a lot harder and a lot quicker.
Jordan Ode, side fade, bullseye.
So she's
Ode
showing,
with 4 20-point games. We mentioned the 30 against Wyzetta.
Yeah, we're showing why she's the leading scorer on this team, right? She the leading scorer or one of the leading scorers on the...
She is the leading
Yeah.
scorer.
She's definitely showing that.
And she read the pass. Maple Grove gets control of it. Ode to the bucket for 2 more.
Yeah, we talked about that 10-point lead and how quickly that can diminish, and here we are, 39-42, St. Michael.
Jordan Ode with a 7-0 run by herself. One possession game again. Runner off the line, offline I should say. A chance for the Crimson to tie it.
Yeah, and Estime just looks a little flat defensively, and they got to...
And just as you say that, they get a 5-second call.
yeah.
Not flat there. Johnson. Hands it off to House.
I know it. Once she brings the ball up and she lets it go that quickly, she's going to get it back. And Maple Grove did a good job of reading that, which I think they've done the last 2 possessions.
Kennedy Klick, though, on top of Johnson. Kraft, the laser, but Carlson couldn't control it.
Yeah, great decision there by STMA to call a timeout and just have that conversation with the team about picking up the tempo a little bit here.
42-39, 15:03 left in the second half. And if you're watching this on the TSB Television YouTube channel, this is our final game of the year.
Bon Voyage 2022.
Yes, calendar year, of course. I was wondering if you'd pick up on that,
Yeah.
but your mind is too sharp for me to slip one past you. No, we're going to have plenty more games as the season moves along, but we're going to take a short break. And that's because I'm on a lot of different rosters of announcers among the stations here. So there's some holiday invites they'll cover. I'll take a quick break to cover those, but we've got plenty of games in January.
Yes.
Providence Becker, Providence Minnehaha, the Hall of Fame Classic, Minnetonka, Benilde St. Margaret's, the feature game on the girls' side.
Lots of great basketball again this year.
So Jordan Ode, 16 points now after dropping a quick 7 to start the second half. And Mark Cook said she's just going to continue to get better and better because her work ethic is unmatched. She's already got multiple D1 offers, and I've got a feeling she will be the leader of this team if she isn't already next season. She can tie it right here. Pure!
So it's light work.
Ode with 19. And the Crimson.
And St. Michael, or I'm sorry, Maple Grove was a little quicker on that transition defense this time. They didn't allow for Carlton to cut across that lane and sit down on him.
A foul was called, though, so Mackenzie Burke goes to the line for 2.
Third personal, it's the first team foul. Burke is at the line.
Front end off the mark.
Did they say that was Holmquist? Is that her 3rd foul?
I think so. They're not keeping track of it on the board. But it's a 1-point game. That was the first point for the Knights in this half, and we haven't seen Tessa Johnson take a shot attempt yet. Ooh, that was close. Oh.
And I think she might be pushing up on her third foul as well.
I believe so.
Personal foul is on Kayla Kraft, number 50. For the Knights, that's her third personal.
Yes.
It's the second team foul on
And when you play an aggressive defense like that, you have to be mindful. It's one of those high-risk, high-reward scenarios. Kennedy Klick steps into the three, is short. Kraft with the rebound. She'll stay in for now. But she's got 3 fouls.
Nice cut there by Carlson. She does a great job of cutting across that back.
Kormann sealed her off, though. St. Michael-Albertville with the arrow. The Knights, speaking of holidays, they'll have their holiday tournament where they'll play Edina and Rogers, or not Rogers, Chanhassen. They already played Rogers. And Kennedy Klick forced the backcourt violation as Tessa Johnson had trouble retrieving it.
Yeah, I mean, it was worth it for that elbow that she took to the chest there as Tessa was holding her off. So it was worth it.
So all's fair?
Yeah.
All's fair in love and war? Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. No, those two, tremendous friends. So Maple Grove with another chance to take the lead. Ode, that is a traveling call. So to finish up what I was going to say on St. Michael-Albertville, they'll have their holiday tournament where they'll play Edina and Chanhassen. After that, they will head to the Pentagon in South Dakota to play Sioux Falls or Gorman. You probably know the Pentagon, one of the premier destinations in basketball. Here comes a three. Off the heel. Offensive rebound for Kale Jenke. Tessa Johnson, turnaround.
And STMA is all over the boards here.
Coincidentally, it was offensive rebounding that gave Tessa Johnson a highlight moment in AAU at the state tournament against the Metro Stars. Got an offensive rebound, threw it up in the closing seconds for the game-winning three-point play.
In the right place at the right time.
Whereas my colleague, Eric Bugard, puts it, it's Tessa time. Kennedy Klick. Kennedy having a hard time finding her shot tonight.
Yeah, and Kennedy, I think Tessa's kind of forcing her out of her comfort zone. You can see that when Tessa's covering her defensively, she's pushing her to the right, which might be a little more uncomfortable for Kennedy still at this point.
Well, Kennedy had a similar issue creep up against Hopkins at the Tip-Off Classic. She went 2 of 18 in that game. And that's going to be a reach and foul on Piper Carlson. And shooting funks, they happen to all of us.
Right.
Personal foul is on Piper Carlson, number 14 for STMA. That's her second personal, third team.
Carlson with their second. .12:30 to go. The Knights have yet to make a field goal in this half. Maple Grove looking to take their first lead.
Here we go, working that offense.
Ode off the screen, fires away, bullseye.
And the play was there, the next pass was there, but she was feeling it.
Tessa sees a lane and says, I've had enough. We're tied at 45. Tessa gives the Knights their first field goal of the second half. Stern backs off. Kennedy Klick goes back out. Offensive rebound, Stern throws it up, comes up with it. Well, almost. Jump ball, STMA with the arrow. 45-45. Well, the top scorers proving their mettle, Ode and Johnson with 22 points respectively. Kraft again likes to drive along that left side.
Carlson again.
Now it's Kraft with the O board and the finish. Jakayla with 10. Knights looking to stay undefeated. Maple Grove looking for their first win against a Lake Conference team.
Great pass.
Audrey Kormann cashes in. Stern with the assist. Timeout.
Yeah, and this is the time that one team's got to either pull apart or we're going to be biting nails for the rest 10 minutes and 59 seconds here, trading buckets.
Well, no Grinch here. Plenty of points to go around.
Oh, you should hang around my family a little more.
Are you saying they're Grinches?
Oh, that's one of our favorite
Oh,
holiday
okay, one of their
characters.
favorite specials.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait a second, you're not throwing shade on your relatives, are you?
No.
Well, I'll tell you
No.
what. No shade here. Jordan Ode, Tessa Johnson playing well. LaToya, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a photo finish with 10:59 to go. By the way, Tessa Johnson, as we mentioned earlier, featured as the cover athlete on the Breakdown book. She also got her own bio page where she talked about what it takes to be a closer. She patterns her game after Michael Jordan.
All right, Tessa, I see you. The Tessa Johnson.
And if you wonder why, Tessa said his game is simple, not flashy, but fundamental. Gets the job done with ease, both a closer and a leader. And if you are old enough to remember the Bulls dynasty from the 90s, I'm sure Dante and you do, and I caught the tail end of it, Michael Jordan
Yeah.
was usually there.
But if what Tessa is doing, if those are the fundamentals, then we're all toast.
Hopkins, maybe one of the few that wasn't toast, at least not last year. I don't know who's going to win 4A this year. I thought STMA maybe had the pieces to make a run at them, but you never know. Eden Prairie, even without Savannah Jones, they're playing well. Minnetonka, look out for them.
There's great help side defense there.
Kraft with nowhere to go, feeds it to Johnson for a reset.
So she says, stop playing with me. Give me the ball, set a pick.
You're not going to move to South Carolina, are you, next year? Columbia? Well,
If Don Staley sends for me, I'm out of here.
maybe there's a spot on the coaching staff.
I'll be like the water person, the water girl. I'll make sure there's cold water. Like, Don, I'll take any position. I'll take tickets at the door.
Kraft, the kick out. STMA looking for the swing.
I'll sit with Holly Rowe. I mean, I'll do any of those things.
Runner off the mark. Kennedy Klick with the rebound. Not a lot of points in the second half for the Knights, just the couple of field goals.
There we go.
Ode's three had a good look, just didn't hit the mark. Dead ball rebound. So 9:50 left, tie game. LaToya already has her plans mapped out to join the Gamecocks staff in Columbia. Actually, South Carolina played at the Pentagon last week
Nice.
against South Dakota State.
Yeah, we were able to watch them win their championship last year here at the Target Center.
Final four was held here. That was quite the weekend. Tessa Johnson cut off. Kormann stayed with her. Klick.
Don't force it.
Well, Kennedy, she's been in too many games. I don't think she's going to force it. Not on her own accord. Open three. Tessa Johnson using that agility to chase down the long carom. and picks up another fast break assist. Ava House with her first field goal of the game.
And go back to what worked for them in that first half was that transition offense. Here we go and see if they're going to get it out.
The ball went off of Ode's foot. Here comes Tessa. I think she got into her windup maybe a step prematurely, earlier than she wanted.
And her coach is calling for a foul. Like she did take some contact there.
Ode missed the three. Tessa, the drive and kick. 3-ball. Short. Klick dives for it.
And everyone's a little slow to get up there. Something about the knees on the hardwood.
Kennedy, rejected by Diaz.
Oh, get big, ask for it back.
Kraft, got it.
And that's already talked about, being able to shoot the three.
And you notice, LaToya, Jordan Ode didn't get a hand up in time.
Yeah.
So even though she was within reach of Kraft, Jakayla had the opening she needed.
And that's extremely deadly when you have a player that has a quick first step and can shoot the three. Because if you pause or you keep that hand down, she'll just shoot over the top of you. And if you overplay her, she'll drive right past you. So
just one of those things where, again, Kraft is one of those players, Johnson, you have to be mindful because you never know what kind of move they'll throw at you. Johnson and Klick, they've been on each other most of this game. Diaz to Kraft.
what is he going to call?
Traveling.
Oh, that's questionable. We'll have to see that on the replay. I don't know.
From here, I thought Kraft.
Jump stopped.
I thought Kraft, maybe the jump stop's what got her. I didn't see an obvious call there, but that was the ruling.
There's no takebacks.
Nope, no backsies.
Nice little hesitation there.
Klick the drive and kick. And the 3-ball for Lexi Hanna, her second. Big basket for the Crimson, 52-50. Johnson. The fadeaway. That did everything but go in.
That was like, it went in and...
Well, not even Jordan made all of his shots. Crimson want another three. Swish.
There we go. And now we're
Cade
seeing a little
Holmquist.
breakdown on transition defense from STMA here.
Cade Holmquist with their first triple.
I think this is the first lead of the game for the Crimson.
They lead 53-52. Kraft. No good. Ode with the rebound. This would be a huge boost for Maple Grove.
And I think, we all can see that STMA is driving into the basket. They're taking a little more contact than probably what they would like to take. We're not going to force the refs to make that call, and so it only perpetuates you not getting the calls if you continue to yell at the coach around about the calls.
Tessa Johnson steps into the three and drills it.
Good time to reset here for STMA.
I have to imagine Johnson saw her share of Michael Jordan highlights, if that is the player she idolizes most. And she's got 25. You probably won't get 50 tonight, but Tessa continuing this torrid pace of hers.
Yeah, as we thought she would when we got here tonight. She's a leader on this team. She's a leader in the state. Nothing short of what we expected to see from her tonight.
I'm starting to wonder if you're the president of her fan club.
I can be.
Well, there are a lot of players you've rooted for over the years.
Yes.
It's hard not to cheer for them. I know I'm looking forward to the Hopkins STMA series.
Absolutely.
When you got the Battle of South Carolina and Stanford commits.
Absolutely. And they're not. I'm from the basketball world, so not even so much just the players, but there's some amazing coaches that are coaching out there right now, and then there's just some amazing parents who we've had the opportunity to watch their kids grow up. in the basketball sector and see them play now and get ready to go off to college.
And there's a long-time member of the family in Kennedy Klick. And Tessa Johnson picks her pocket.
Guys, I used to
Once
do that
again,
to my brother.
Kraft, the trailer, can't flip it in. A big break for the Crimson.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to show that clip to my brother.
Kormann couldn't post up on Carlson there. 3 on the way. No good. LaToya, these two are not shy about getting after it quickly.
It's worked for both teams sporadically throughout the game. The whole first half, really, for STMA.
Crimson trail by 2, and shooting free throws will be Claire Stern.
Carlson's definitely holding it down in the paint, defensively and offensively.
Number 14 for the Knights, her third. 14th foul at the line. Claire
Even though she picked up that foul there, a lot of times you can see the offensive player take a little pause before they go in the lane when she's in there.
Claire Stern has verbally committed to play at North Dakota State in the Summit League, if I'm correct, and also on the National Honor Society at Maple Grove.
Beautiful.
So
Great job.
another D1 commit. Well, we talked about before, Maple Grove, they've sent a few over the years.
I always wonder how, after going through brutal winters of basketball season here in Minnesota, you still want to play in up north?
We'll talk to the Gopher 4. They don't seem to mind.
Oh my goodness.
We're tied. Maple Grove could break the tie in their favor here. Clearly the cold didn't bother Nia Holloway or Mara Braun or Amaya Battle. We've got a foul.
I knew it.
3 second, not a foul, 3 second call.
They got to see her. She's working that hard. She has her player pinned for that long. That's got to be an automatic go through. She's one of the tallest players on the court, and she's consistently pinning her player. And even if she doesn't score, there's a high percentage chance that she's going to get to the free throw line.
Jakayla Kraft on the take again. Kraft's got 15.
Kraft makes that look like light work.
Well, she's is quite crafty on the attack, isn't she? I'll show myself out again. I'm sure she's heard that more than once. Stern fouled before the shot. LaToya, I was thinking to your statement about cold weather. Your longtime friend, one of your other favorites, Ronnie Porter, she went to Wisconsin.
I know.
Adalia McKenzie is down in Champaign, Illinois. It's not that much warmer down there.
I don't understand.
And look what Adalia's doing this year.
Yes.
Jordan Ode, 3 off the heel. Tessa Johnson zips her way down court. Another driving kick for 3. House knocks it down. Knights lead by 5. Ode.
Step back again.
Kraft got a piece of it. Kormann in trouble. Diaz rips it away.
STMA did a great job of rotating defensively on that trap.
Diaz a little slow, but she kicks out to Kraft. Look out. Bullseye.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Timeout Crimson.
Beautiful.
St. Michael-Albertville leads by 8. Jakayla Kraft with 18.
Yeah, show that again, too, on the replay. Slow it down. That flick of the wrist was beautiful. Nice job, Kraft.
Well, remember, she built a reputation as a three-point shooter last year as a sophomore.
So that was pretty much put some respect on my name.
She already has that. She doesn't have to convince me. You should, again, when you see her do what she did in AAU, you got it. Like, I'm not going to dispute your acumen. But Kraft up to 18, 10 points this half, and it goes back to why I think St. Michael-Albertville could be a dark horse. Tessa Johnson's going to draw the bulk of the coverage, but House and Kraft have been chipping in. You have Piper Carlson. This team, maybe not as deep as Hopkins, but you've got one of the best players in the senior class.
Yeah, I'm going to say one of the best players in the country, and I might be a little biased, but she also has a great supporting cast. Like, everyone knows their role, they execute, they're all chipping in, great defensive rotation. I'm a firm believer that defense wins games, and so they do a great job of communicating on the floor, so they look really good.
Well, to Marissa Holman, the organizer of the Who's Next All-American Games. LaToya and I covered that last year, hoping to do it this year. I know Marissa was asking me who are some players I should keep an eye on for Minnesota to send an invite to. Number 4.
Yes.
From the senior class, Tessa Johnson. Maple Grove, they're probably going to have some all-star representation this year. That's going to be a foul on Tessa Johnson. The Knights had just one to give.
You know, there's a couple of teams that we've seen play really stellar defense this year, Minnetonka being another one.
Johnson, number 4 for the Knights. That's Tessa's first personal, 16.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Kormann and Klick get some considerations for all-star events come spring. Stern.
Nice hesitation.
Diaz, though, got to her. Tessa Johnson puts her body on the line to draw the charge.
And you know, that call could have went either way, and it would have, the crowd would have erupted either way. Like, Maple Grove needed that, and it really adds a little more fuel and gas behind this STMA group right now.
And this could be the last game Maple Grove plays until the calendar year. Their game with EP. Kennedy Klick.
Poor baby. Tessa was oh, poor baby. That's all. I'm going to leave it. She's going to need an ice bath after this.
Tessa Johnson, stronger than she looks.
What gave that away? The 5 feet that Kennedy slid?
Diaz for 3. That could be the dagger. And who gave her the ball? Tessa Johnson once again.
Great job distributing, getting everybody active, keeping everyone active. Great help, good rotation there.
Stern drains the runner. That took a lot of time, though. Maple Grove still has 2 fouls to give. And Klick is called for 1 there. Now, there is no penalty if you foul on the inbound compared to the college or pro game. You don't send your opponent to the free throw line in this scenario, but...
I missed that. Did you hear what foul that was for Klick? Second? Okay, it's pretty good.
And a foul well taken because the Crimson are able to force the turnover. Can they turn it into points here with 1:52 left? Ode, got it.
That's a possibility.
Well, that's more than a possibility. They got a huge clutch bucket out of that. Klick with her 3rd foul. Didn't go to the floor this time. I think she was ready for Tessa.
Barely.
How far do you think Tessa would send us sliding on the floor if we tried to stop her?
I'm going to stop talking before we are next.
I think you and I would have to do a lot more to draw Tessa's wrath like that. Here comes Janke. She sees a lane. Count it.
Here, that's one of those fouls where it might not have been a touch, but just the fact that your arm crossed that barrier, you brought those arms down, they automatically call that foul.
Gail Janke. Here's something that should wow you. She and her sister own a business that donates 50% of its profits to cancer research.
Oh, that's really nice.
No three-point play.
Nice.
No three-point play, but another major basket and an offensive foul on Maple Grove. And as time winds down here in the second half, LaToya, Tessa only 5 points this half, but these last few possessions, she has spotted up her teammates who would deliver with a bucket. She is incredibly tough to guard. Knights, I think they wanted to run the clock out. They get the timeout call here with 56 seconds left.
Good job going to the floor and recovering that. See the trap coming, maybe just continue to pass the ball, pass and cut, move. About a minute left. We've seen it happen before with 4 buckets needed, some foul possibilities with under a minute left. It can happen. So STMA needs to really play smart this last minute.
I'm enjoying the holiday tunes here. And I was saying earlier, for Maple Grove, this is going to be their last game of the calendar year. The Eden Prairie game has already been postponed due to the incoming cold snap. They won't be back at it again for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a long break, especially over the holiday with there being no school in session and no games. And so they really need to make sure that they stay active.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Because there are a few other teams that don't have plans to play. Cretin-Durham Hall, I know, is another team that's going to take the holidays off. You are going to have some holiday invites. Park Center has one. Eden Prairie, Chaska usually participate in that. Eastview and Hill Murray are hosting tournaments as well. Minnehaha Academy and Como Park playing in the Hill Murray tournament. 50 seconds. Again, STMA, they don't have to do anything. No shot clock yet. So I think they're going to hold it. Make Maple Grove foul them here. Textbook possession to eat up time.
Did a good job on that scramble.
And that will send Ava House to the line. House averaging 13.2 a game. Missed. It was a 1-and-1. But Maple Grove has to score quick. Stern. Got it!
And Maple Grove will take a timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a timeout on the floor.
Maple Grove calls timeout. They still need a few things to happen, but 68-63, Claire Stern up to 13 with that bucket.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they go to. Definitely got to drop some threes or get to the basket and get some fouls. I don't know if they'll be able to suck STMA into committing a foul or just allowing them to score or shoot a three, but we'll see.
Looking ahead for St. Michael-Albertville, they do get Becker at the community clash January 28th, and of course being in the lake, they'll have lots of tough competition. Mark Cook noted how it benefited the Knights the last time Maple Grove made it to state. St. Michael-Albertville was still in the Mississippi 8. The next year, they go to the lake. They were both in Section 8 at the time, and St. Michael-Albertville won the group. And for Maple Grove, again, Eden Prairie and Minnetonka. After that, they will play mostly Northwest Suburban teams. Tessa Johnson drew the foul with 17.8 left.
I think she had no intention of scoring, even though she very well could have. Just looking to pass that ball back out.
Tessa, 26.6 points per game. Moved into the top 10 after that 51-point eruption on Friday.
Yeah, Carlson and Diaz have done a great job of switching off, playing their roles in the paint tonight. Very impressed.
Split at the line, but we'll see what happens. Klick goes for the layup, no good, and that will do it. St. Michael-Albertville gave up the lead briefly, but answered in a big way. With Tessa Johnson mostly playing facilitator after that terrific first half. But she got the job done. That's what counts.
Team stayed active.
Now, the Knights did have some issues with free throws against Bismarck Century that made it a close game. We'll have to see how that shapes down the road, but the Knights will get the win here, and that's what counts. Kraft gets a piece of it. 69-63 the final. The Knights stay undefeated. Tessa Johnson, what a show.
Yeah, I think tonight with Johnson, Carlson, Kraft, and Diaz, it was just too much for Maple Grove to subdue and get a win. So just a little too much heat for them tonight.
But for the Crimson, it's another quality test. There's a reason they schedule a lot of late conference games. I wouldn't count them out just yet, especially in Section 5.
Absolutely. This is a close game all the way through, and we saw how they came out at halftime and just chopped that 10-point lead down. Ode did a great job of leading her team tonight, and I think once they all start firing on the same cylinders, we could play in a month from now, and this might look different.
We'll try to get a word with some of the STMA players before we wrap it up. This is high school girls basketball. St. Michael-Albertville beats Maple Grove 69-63. Joining me are Jakayla Kraft and Tessa Johnson, and Jakayla's got one of her Metro Stars family members checking out this action here. It's someone you probably know. All right. No, it's Liv. Well, we're all family here. Jakayla, we'll start with you because over the last year, I felt you really have evolved as an attacker. We know you can knock down threes. You hit a couple tonight, but between the AAU season and what you've done for STMA so far, you've added that slash to the mix. How do you think that has helped you grow this year?
I would definitely say playing with the teammates that I played with during the Metro season, it helped me, learn how to drive and not just settle for my three.
Did Liv teach you a thing or two about slashing?
Definitely.
And she looks away. It's okay, Liv. You can take credit.
Tell me all I know. Live right now? Is this live? Yes, bro. It is? Just go.
There was a game, by the way. Well, here's the thing. You were up by 10. Maple Grove goes on a quick run to tie it. They briefly take the lead. You held them off. Everyone chipped in some big plays. How did you weather through Maple Grove's second half run?
I know that my teammates have my back through whatever, so regardless if I mess up or anything, it's like, they got my back, especially her. So I don't really have to worry about it too much.
There's something else I wanted to find out about you. Because you claim that you can go into any room or any group and make friends and start conversations with anybody.
Yeah.
So how many times has that happened over the years?
A lot. Like, I came up here and made you laugh, right?
You know what?
See?
You know,
got you giggling right there.
You know what? You make a good point. I will not dispute that. Tessa, you dropped 25 tonight. You had 20 in the first half, and we're going to have a little switch here. Just 5 in the second. Well, just 5 by yourself, but if we count the assists, you were responsible for more than 5. You were saying that 51-point outing was a one-night only deal, and maybe you didn't have 51 tonight, but you were consistent throughout. So when you have to switch from scorer to facilitator, how do you do it as smoothly as you do?
I don't know, I just like involving my teammates. I think that if, like, I score, they're going to key on me, so then I have wide open teammates. It's kind of easy.
And I understand that you pattern your game after Michael Jordan because he kept it simple, not necessarily flashy, but always got the job done, and we saw that out of you tonight. So what have you taken from his game that has inspired you to become the player you are?
I really like his mid-range game, and I need to work on mine, but I like his mid-range game. And like I said, it was simple.
Well, I don't think he ever dropped 9 3-pointers in a game.
That just came out of nowhere, for real.
Well, mid-range or 3-pointers, what would you say is the most exciting part about your senior season? You got the college commitment out of the way. We know you're going to South Carolina, and you're putting up some big numbers as a senior. What mindset, what attitude have you taken this year that you think has helped you get off to such this terrific start?
I think we just have one goal at the end, and we're all on the same page, like I've said a couple times, but that's our goal, so we're motivated.
And for the two of you, in case there are any impressionable youngsters watching, and there's at least one right down there, what advice would you give to others? You know, with you going to South Carolina and Jakayla, you've taken up some tremendous growth of your own. What would you say to others who hope to one day perhaps go to South Carolina or another college?
Just keep working, put in the work, and it'll pay off.
Yeah, keep working.
Keep working, and it doesn't hurt to have Liv McGill as a teammate for a time as well, right?
She all right. She ain't all that. I'm just playing. She's amazing.
And then, Tessa, just quickly, this is a big deal. You and Kennedy got to meet up one more time, barring state. The two of you have a friendship going back to North Tartan AAU. How cool was it to go at each other the way you two did?
I love competition, so I know we're good off the court, and it's competition on the court. We're good.
Well, they'll be good. I'm sure they'll send some congratulatory messages after tonight. Before we go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Hey, friends.
What friends?
Wow.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Hey, Yankee. Hey, my brother. Shout out.
It's her little brother's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liv throwing some shade at you, Tessa. Like, I think you have more than a few friends out there.
She don't got no friends.
I don't believe that for a second.
Move, don't get too close.
You saw how she was talking about Kennedy.
Help.
Thank you.
You two have plenty of friends. Well, I'd like to thank the two of you for taking some time to speak to our television friends out there. Congrats on the win and enjoy the holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tessa Johnson and Jakayla Kraft, who have plenty of friends, probably more than I do. Everyone friends here. And that will do it from Maple Grove and this edition of High School Girls Basketball. For LaToya, Turk, and the rest of the crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.